The 88-second destruction of Donnie Long, Atlantic City, October 9, 1985. Under the blinding lights of the Trump Casino Hotel, cigar smoke drifts through the air, and the murmur of high-stakes gambling is deafening. A young master of ceremonies named Michael Buffer steps into the center of the ring. He is not yet the global legend everyone knows, but his voice already carries that majestic resonance. Buffer takes the microphone and announces a name that is about to change boxing history forever: Iron Mike Tyson. Tyson is just 19 years old. He doesn't wear a world championship belt around his waist yet, nor the undisputed heavyweight crown. However, in the boxing ecosystem, his name is already spoken with a respect bordering on panic. He made his professional debut in the spring of that same year, in March 1985, and what he has done in just 7 months is a freak of nature. 8 fights, 8 victories, all by way of chloroform. No one has heard the judges' scorecards when Tyson steps into the ring. His boxing style is not stylized. He is a demolition force dressed in short black trunks, with no robe and no socks. A minimalist aesthetic that screams danger. But that night, in the opposite corner, there was no human punching bag or an opponent hand-picked to pad a record. The man waiting for him was Donnie Long, nicknamed the Master of Disaster. Long is 28 years old, possesses the physical maturity of a heavyweight, and stands at 6 feet 2 inches, 1.88 meters, notably towering over the Brooklyn Kid. His record is solid and respectable: 15 wins and 3 losses. For analysts of the era, Donnie Long is not a victim. He is the first legitimate test, the first acid test, to determine if the Mike Tyson phenomenon is real or just an illusion built on second-rate opponents. 2 dark backstories and a failed provocation. To understand the tension in the air before the bell rang, one must dig into the lives of both men. Donnie Long was no ordinary athlete. Coming from the toughest neighborhoods in Ohio, he carried a personal history that could terrify anyone. In boxing circles, it was well known that Long was a dangerous guy outside the ring. He had been involved in drug trafficking, faced homicide charges that resulted in prison sentences, and spent years dodging the police as a fugitive. For Donnie Long, fear was not an option. He had survived state prisons and street shootouts. A 19-year-old kid, no matter how hard he hit, was not going to intimidate him. In the days leading up to the fight, Long made sure to make his stance clear to the press. While the boxing world showered Tyson with praise, Long remained calm, almost dismissive. "I'm in incredible physical shape. I feel fast, and I know I can box better than Tyson," Long declared into the microphones with a confident smile. "I believe I can fight just as well as he can. I'll keep him in the center of the ring, and I'm going to punch. If I'm not stronger than Tyson, I assure you I'm not weaker." Journalists, looking to light the fuse, reminded Long that Tyson had been destroying all his opponents with ferocious body combinations and devastating hooks. Cut to Long, unfazed, brought up a ghost from Tyson's past, Henry Tillman. Long argued that if Tillman had been able to defeat Tyson in the 1984 Olympic trials using mobility, a long jab, and footwork, then he, who possessed those amateur skills plus the power of a professional heavyweight.
That's what he will try and test Donnie Long with. Well against Tyson, hit him as he's coming in.
19 years of age. Long is 27.
Oh, wow.
Well, here early in the first, Frank Cappuccino looking on closely. You see Long. Left hand again.
Well, he didn't.
Another knockdown.
There is no 3 knock strong against Long.
5 of 8 have fallen in the first.
As I've ever seen Donnie Long look, but give Tyson credit. That's it. Wow. Make no mistake about it. That was a, certainly hope he's okay. But because he did it against, boy, he's strong. That young man is strong, and for Donnie Long, he felt the effect.
Fear for the injury for Long, but you can see he's up. Now the celebration can go as we take a look again at a disaster.
Came out with the hopes of boxing Tyson, but there, Tyson be able to be hurt. This is a man, remember, that went 10 with James Broad.
Cracked the code perfectly. Tyson's response during his training days reflected the cold mentality that his mentor, Cus D'Amato, had instilled in him at the Catskill Gym. D'Amato, who was already gravely ill and would pass away just a month after this fight, had engineered Tyson to be a psychological executioner. Tyson knew Long was considered a street bad boy, and his response was lethal. For Donnie Long, prison was probably the safest place of his life, because when the bell rings, I'm going to try to destroy him. Tyson didn't view boxing as an entertainment sport. For him, a televised fight was an absolute necessity for commercial victory and survival. You don't go out there with the mindset of, well, at least I participated and got on TV. If you think like that, you chose the wrong business. You have to win in the most dominant way possible. The young Brooklynite explained during his camp. The collision course was set. The convicted criminal who feared nothing against the prodigy of legitimate violence, looking to send a message of terror to the world. Round 1, 88 seconds of mass destruction. The bell rings. There is no feeling out round. Tyson explodes out of his corner like a coiled spring, immediately taking the center of the ring. Dressed in his classic black trunks, he advances with short, firm steps. Donnie Long tries to keep his word. He moves laterally, snaps his left arm trying to maintain distance, and throws a couple of jabs that find nothing but air, as Tyson's head bobs and weaves frantically from side to side. Tyson gets inside Long's guard with astonishing speed for a heavyweight. The pressure is suffocating. Long tries to circle out to his right, but Tyson cuts off the ring with flawless footwork. Barely a minute into the fight, Donnie Long's theory crumbles against the harsh reality of power. Tyson slips a faint jab from Long, steps diagonally, and unleashes a short, crisp, upward left hook that lands flush on the jaw of the Master of Disaster. It's not a flashy punch with a long windup. It's an impact with the weight of Tyson's entire body behind it. The thud echoes through the front rows of the Trump Casino. Long's legs instantly give out, and he drops flat on his back onto the canvas. The crowd leaps from their seats in a single roaring scream. Long, showing the pride of a tough street survivor, manages to beat to the referee's mandatory 8 count. But his body betrays him. His eyes are unfocused, and his knees tremble slightly as he makes a supreme effort to stay upright. The referee wipes his gloves and signals for the action to resume. Tyson smells blood. There is no mercy. He pounces on a defenseless Long, who desperately tries to tie him up to survive. Tyson breaks the clinch with ease and unleashes a storm of looping punches. Long staggers back against the ropes. Tyson connects with a straight right, followed by another left hook. Long falls a second time, semi-collapsed between the ring ropes. The punishment is surgical and devastating. Miraculously, Long beats the 10 count once again. His central nervous system is collapsing, but survival instinct forces his hands up. Tyson approaches with terrifying coldness. He knows the fight is over. He just needs to deliver the final punctuation mark. Tyson feints with his left shoulder. Long drops his guard out of pure reflex, and Mike finishes him with an iconic combination. A devastating right uppercut that lifts Long's head, immediately followed by a left hook that sends him down for good. Donnie Long collapses completely limp. The referee doesn't even bother finishing the count. He waves off the fight immediately. The bout has lasted exactly 88 seconds. 1 minute and 28 seconds of sports violence so pure and concentrated that it leaves TV commentator Al Bernstein completely speechless at the broadcast table. Minutes later, Bernstein stated that while Long had shown one of his worst physical versions, the absolute credit belonged to Tyson, whose hand speed and combinations were something never before seen in the heavyweight division. A message to the heavyweight kingdom. While Donnie Long is attended to by doctors in his corner, trying to regain his bearings, Mike Tyson paces the ring with stunning tranquility. He walks over to the ropes and blows kisses to the TV camera. There are no wild celebrations, no jumping for joy. For him, this is simply another day at the Office of Pain. Minutes after the fight, with sweat still glistening on his shoulders, Tyson grants an in-ring interview. His words reflect the mentality of an absolute monarch claiming his throne by right of destruction. I knew from the beginning he wasn't on my level, Tyson states in a strangely high-pitched voice, yet loaded with icy confidence. I know a lot of young heavyweights came out to see me fight today. Ferguson, the Fraziers, James Broad, all of you, come on, come and get yours. Mike Tyson is here, come and get it. That public challenge was no teenage bravado. It was a formal declaration of war to the entire heavyweight division. Tyson hadn't just knocked out an experienced opponent in less than a minute and a half. He had shattered the aura of invulnerability surrounding old-school fighters. To put into perspective the magnitude of what this triumph meant in Tyson's career, one only has to Look at what happened 5 years later in June 1990. By then, Tyson's story had taken a dramatic turn. He had already been undisputed champion, touched global glory, and tasted rock bottom after shockingly losing his titles to Buster Douglas in Tokyo just months prior. Ironically, in his comeback fight after that devastating loss, Tyson faced Henry Tillman, the very man Donnie Long had brought up so much before their 1985 bout. Tyson knocked Tillman out in the first round in Las Vegas as well, proving that those ghosts of the past and the comparisons his rivals used to motivate themselves were ultimately wiped away with a single flash of his fists. The legend of the kid in black trunks. The fight against Donnie Long was etched into boxing archives as the exact moment the industry realized Mike Tyson was not a marketing gimmick. From that October night in Atlantic City, panic became Tyson's ultimate ally. Opponents no longer stepped into the ring thinking about how to beat him. They stepped in thinking about how to survive the first 2 rounds. Donnie Long, the master of disaster, the man who had defied the law and survived prisons, discovered in 88 seconds that there was a greater danger than the streets of Ohio. A Brooklyn teenager blessed with feline speed and a destructive force that would come to define one of the most fascinating and terrifying eras in the history of world boxing.